Yo, it's Tusai Anime here, and I want to dive into one of my favorite themes in Jujutsu Kaisen, and it's all because of the most recent chapter ending with a cliffhanger of Yuta versus Sukuna. Yuta and Sukuna are polar opposites when it comes to what their characters represent. Sukuna is all about selfishness. He rejects the idea of love and doesn't believe he needs anyone to satisfy his need. He has fun when he wants to, and he kills to buy time until he dies. Sukuna lacks the sense of humanity, and he's disgusted by weak people. And there's Yuta, a child prodigy that we were introduced to in the Volume 0 one-shot/movie. Yuta's whole character revolves around love and humanity and protecting those that are weak. Yuta is literally the living embodiment of everything that Geto used to believe in before he went down his genocidal path. Yuta versus Sukuna deserves his own video, and we're already working on it. But before I dive into Yuta versus Sukuna, I wanted to talk about another character that became a polar opposite of Yuta, but also was similar to Yuta at the beginning of the series. And that character is Maki. And no, this isn't a shipping video. I just wanted to point out a common trope that Gege tends to add to his series. And this common trope and theme is the yin and yang, the dualistic nature of existence. The yin and yang is rooted in the belief that in the universe there are two opposing forces that are both opposing, complementary. There's good and there's bad. In the bad, there's always that small little white circle that represents good, and in the white, where it's all good, there is some bad. You see this concept a lot when it comes to Gege's character and how he writes their conflicts. There are multiple examples like Kenjaku versus Yuki. Both characters had opposing viewpoints on the future of cursed energy, which ultimately led to their final fight. The young sorcerer Yuji at the beginning of the series versus Mahito. And eventually, Yuji, after defeating Mahito, came in terms with Mahito's belief. The list can go on forever. We can talk about Gojo versus the higher-ups, Geto versus Yuta, but it's still safe to say this is common within Gege's writing style. What does this have to do with Yuta and Maki? Just let me cook. Both characters were introduced in Volume 0. The main theme of this one-shot manga/movie was love, how it can create some of the most twisted curses. We all know by now, the Queen of Curses was created by Yuta cursing Rika because Yuta didn't want to be alone. And freeing Rika from this curse became the main point of the movie/one-shot. Gojo placed Yuta under Maki's care, and Maki molded Yuta into a weapon specialist. Maki forced Yuta to discover his why and his reason for being the sorcerer. On page 45, after Maki yelled at Yuta and asked him what was his purpose of coming to Jujutsu High and what did he want and what did he expect, Yuta yells out, "I want to be with people. I want to be relied on by somebody. I want to believe that it's okay to keep living." And Maki tells him, then start exercising curses. Yuta's reason for being the sorcerer showcased his yearning to be loved by someone and the human aspect of his character. Maki's words echoed into Yuta's soul, giving him the resolve to free Rika from the curse. Love and keeping your humanity was also a similar aspect to Maki's character. Let's go back to page 45 of Volume 0. You need to exercise them and keep on exercising them. As for your own feelings and other people's respect, you will be fine in due time. That's what Jujutsu High is all about. This is what Maki said to Yuta before passing out, and this is very important. Becoming a grade 1 sorcerer and gaining the respect of Jujutsu High and the society, doing this all out of the love for her twin sister Mai, was the reason why Maki joined Jujutsu High School. Just like Toji, Maki was born without cursed energy. Hailing from one of the big 3 clans of Jujutsu, sorcery, this was frowned upon. Maki was tormented and abused within her clan. This was displayed multiple times throughout the series. See a flashback of the abuse that Maki went through when she visited her home during the preparation arc. After Naoya basically just makes fun of her face and tells her that she's worthless because she can't see cursed spirits or use a curse technique, he follows up saying, "I've been lonely. Shall I bully you like I used to?" And we see him standing on Maki. It gets even worse. Maki walks past her mother, headed to the warehouse to grab the curse tools to aid the crew in their efforts to rescue Gojo. Her mom flat out says, "For once, make me glad that I gave birth to you." Sheesh. Even the flashback in Volume 0 after Yuta tells Maki she is strong, you see the families of the Zenin clan telling their kids to stay away from Maki because she's useless. She can't see curse spirits, she doesn't have a curse technique. Twins were seen as a bad omen. Regardless of all the physical and mental abuse that Maki endured, she still set out to become the head of her clan because she wanted to create a place where Mai can belong. Everything that Maki did at the beginning of the series revolved around the nurturing and loving feeling that she had towards Mai. She was just like Yuta, and that's why in Volume 0, these two characters became inseparable. We learned from Panda's trolling that when Yuta was around Maki seemed happier. Let's not forget, Yuta was the first person in a while to make Maki blush in the Volume 0 series. Or we can talk about how Gege stated in his extra pages that Rika was a jealous spirit. In Volume 0, when Yuta rescued his friends, Rika grabbed Maki and kept saying, "It's always you, it's always about you." Because Rika saw the feelings that Yuta had towards Maki and it pissed her off. Can't have two queens, but enough of that. You can clearly see Maki's character revolves around love and humanity, just like Yuta. Both these characters were the same during the early parts of the series and in Volume 0. But this quickly changed as the two characters embarked on different journeys. Yuta stuck to his word in becoming somebody that people can rely on, and using love and humanity as his moral compass. Yuta's perspective on love is why he clashed with the ancient sorcerers in the Sendai colony. He couldn't understand why they were just killing for fun and not using their powers to protect the weak. Uro even tells Yuta that his love and his need to keep his humanity will become his weakness. This also came up again in chapter 45, where Uroume states, "Modern sorcerers try hard to retain their humanity." Hikari counters back and says, "Humanity, the end thing now. A guy I know just said something similar. He's the gloomy sort, but speaks up when he has to and comes through when it counts. So it really moved me. And that person was no other than Yuta." Maki went down a different path. Maki became the polar opposite of Yuta, the opposing force. Maki became a monster. This was stated at the end of chapter 190, where Momo explains to Huck. Momo says Maki turned into a monster, and we see a clean double spread of Maki going crazy. During the preparation arc, Maki lost the one person she loved, the one person fighting to change the clan for. I was left in critical condition after being injured by her father, ultimately sacrificed herself, so Maki can fully utilize heavenly restriction and become the next Toji. This process completely broke Maki, and Maki went on to slaughter her whole entire clan. At the end of chapter 150, Naoya walks up and says, "How cruel, don't you have a human heart?" And Maki answers back and says, "No, it was taken from me." He became a monster, the polar opposite of Yuta. But this was a necessary evil for both these characters. Hear me out. The yin is the dark part of the circle. In that dark circle, there is the yang. The yang represents Yuta. Yuta represents love and humanity. This means Yuta is going to help Maki remember the need to hold on to her humanity and love, and vice versa for Yuta. Maki will be the person to help Yuta let go of his humanity and love, which will allow him to reach the next level. Something that Uro said to Yuta at the end of the Sendai colony. 9 out of 10, during the Sukuna versus Yuta fight, Maki's definitely going to join the fight and help Yuta get to the next level to help defeat Sukuna. Both Yuta and Maki represent the duality of the ancient and modern sorcerers, discarding your humanity and becoming a monster, and keeping your humanity and staying human. But that's it for the video. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'm gonna catch you guys next time.